Welcome back to Top 10 Evolution, where today we're taking a look at 10 of the best new and upcoming games. All of these games are stated to be released in 2023, hopefully, because it's still possible that games can be delayed. But anyways, let's get into the video. Starting off this list is the Crew Motorfest. The Crew games are nothing new to gamers. They have been around pretty much for a while, and it's been a pretty good racing game franchise, at least in my opinion. The game will be a sequel to Crew 2, its predecessor. The Crew Motorfest will also be an open world game, just like its recent predecessors. The game settings will be in a scaled down version of a Hawaiian island based in the US, something like what Forza Horizon 5 did with Mexico. I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking a page out of someone else's book, as long as you make a significant impact and bring something kind of new, which is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping they do here. Seeing that the Crew 2 was actually quite enjoyable. It wasn't the best racing game out back then, but we still had a lot of fun with it. So I'm really excited to see what we'll get with the Crew Motorfest. Hopefully something good. The Crew Motorfest is a upcoming racing adventure sports game being developed by Ivory Tower and is to be published by Ubisoft. The Crew Motorfest will be releasing for the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, and the PC. Releasing on September 11th, 2023. Next up on this list is a game that everyone has been excited for since its announcement. This game is Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. This game is said to be based on the film series, which I actually recently watched, Avatar The Way of Water, a great film, and trust me, it's a really good movie. I suggest you go watch it if you haven't already, and this game will have some aspect of that movie into this video game. Like, the enemies are pretty much the same, and you're still a mixed breed species or a mixed breed species. So definitely recommend giving the movie a watch before the game releases. But the major thing about this game, well, for me, is the graphics. This game easily has the potential to be one of the best looking games of 2023. The game is a first person and third person game, but it's mostly first person. But when you're flying or going into certain actions, you'll be doing that from a third person perspective. The weapons as well actually look really good in the game. The bow seems like it's going to be one of my favorite weapons. At least I like the bow so far. I like to play video games a bit more stealthy, and that's the reason why I prefer the bow. The game will also feature multiplayer, so I'd like to see how that works out. Hopefully it will be fun. Avatar Frontier of Pandora is a new action-adventure shooter game being developed by Massive Entertainment and still published by Ubisoft, releasing for the PS5, the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, and the PC, releasing on December 7th, 2023. Moving on to a game that was recently delayed from its release date. The game we're talking about is Lies of P, a game that I've been following for quite some time now, and if you used to watch my channel a lot, you'd realize this game was included in a lot of my videos because I genuinely love this game. And from what I'm seeing so far, the game story alone is super interesting. The whole story of a child character being taken and turned into this I've seen as more of a horror character now than a child character. It's a much more scary type character, and to see how developers can just take a whole children character like Pinocchio and just turn into this badass piece of character is actually really impressive if you ask me. The game on its own is to be played like a Soul type game, so if you're a big Souls fan, this game is definitely one you should keep your eye on, especially if you finish already playing Elden Ring, because I've finished playing Elden Ring. There's not much I can do. There's still a lot, but there's nothing I want to do, so I'm definitely looking for something new, and that's why I'd recommend you keep your eye out for this one, because that's what I'm doing. The game takes place in the fictional city of Karat, where you'll be taking control of a humanoid version of Pinocchio that can be equipped with a lot of badass weapons and ability. Plus, the game adds up to 3 different endings, so sounds like it's gonna be a ton of fun. Lies of P is a new single-player action-adventure role-playing game developed and published by NeoWiz and will be releasing for the PS5, the PS4, the Xbox Series X, and the Xbox Series S, and the Xbox One and the PC, releasing on September 19th, 2023. Next up is a game that has the potential to be the biggest game of 2023 and the biggest game on this list. The game we're speaking of is none other than Starfield, a game being developed by the same folks that made the Skyrim and the Fallout series. That alone deserves high praises on its own, and that alone is already showing promise. I've literally seen a few gameplay and development overview of this game, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm already hooked. I mean, this game has been in development for quite some time now, so I'd imagine the game to be like impressive as it is. But when I seen the gameplay footage a month ago, I was like, what? This is a whole new franchise in a new universe from Bethesda in over 25 years, and it really shown that they went to work on this title. The game is set in space, so not on Earth like previous games like the Fallout series, and I kind of like the whole space theme. It gives like a fresh feel to the game, seeing that many games nowadays are more based on Earth or something similar. So it's great to see a game going up and beyond. You see what I did there? Up and beyond. Because, it's outer space. Yeah, you get it. Starfield is a new action-adventure role-playing shooter game being developed by Bethesda Game Studios and is to be published by Bethesda Softworks. Releasing for the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, and the PC. Releasing on September 6, 2023. Next up is a game that should be releasing 2 days after this video is uploaded. That's if everything goes well, of course, but hopefully it does. The game I'm speaking of is Atlas Fallen, a game that looks like a ton of fun, and I'm actually surprised it's being released as soon as it is. It was announced a lot later than many of the games on this list, like years later, and it's already being released, but so far I don't really see anything in the gameplay that I have a fault with. The game seems to be pretty okay as it is, so I guess these developers, well, they know what they're doing, and the graphics is actually quite good in this game, especially the game's effects. I have seen the gameplay, and boy oh boy, the game does look amazing. The game will be taking place in a type of desert type environment where mankind has been oppressed by the corrupt gods, and it's up to you and your team to liberate mankind from this oppression. The game has a lot of badass monsters that you'll have to fight, and also a lot of weapons, and the character also have superpower combats and abilities, so you can kick ass. So kicking ass should never be a problem. And you can also play this game with friends, so that's a plus. Atlas Fallen is a new action-adventure role-playing fighting game being developed by Deck 13 and is being published by Focus Entertainment. Atlas Fallen will be releasing for the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, and the PC, releasing on August 10th, 2023. Next up is Forza Motorsports, and I know Forza Horizon 5 was released a few years ago in 2021, but I'm already ready for another Forza Horizon game, but I guess Forza Motorsports can do for now. The game seems like it's gonna hold its own and be a lot of fun, and I'm already digging the graphics and the gameplay, and the cars just look so well designed. You can always count on a Forza game to look amazing. And I'm just hoping the car feels as good as the games looks, cause we really haven't have a lot of car games being released this year. I mean, we got Crew Motorfest that's coming up, but that's an open world racing game. Forza Motorsports is more of a track racing game, something like F1 23. But I think Forza Motorsports might be a better game compared to that game. Not like F1 23 is a bad game. It's just that Forza Motorsports seems like it's already gonna be better. I see no competition releasing this year, so I'm definitely gonna pick this one up at launch. Plus the game has over 500 cars. Come on, we don't need no more than 500 cars. Plus there's also over 100 of these cars that are new to the series, so that's a lot of cars to try out. So I'm excited for Forza Motorsports. Forza Motorsports is a racing sports simulation game being developed by Turn 10 Studios and is to be published by the Xbox Game Studios. Forza Motorsports will be releasing for the PC, the Xbox Series X, and the Xbox Series S, releasing on October 10th, 2023. Next up is a game that was featured so many times on this channel back in the last couple of years, for a good reason of course. We're talking about Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. The game had its fair share of delays, but that doesn't mean that this game is a bad game or it is going to be a bad game. It's actually quite the opposite. It just shows the developers want this game to be in its best shape before they release it, and hey, I'm cool with that. Take your time, because it's been over a decade since we had a Stalker game, so I'm gonna want this new Stalker game to be as good, so it can bring back some good old memories. And following its predecessor, the game is based in a post-apocalyptic world where you are a lone stalker. You will meet different factions and their members as you explore this post-apocalyptic wasteland. Now you'll have to be fighting against mutated monsters and also human enemies, so there's gonna be ops on both sides. And there's also a lot of valuable artifacts to be found in this game. Also, the weapons so far, they seem to be actually looking quite decent. I really can't wait to give this a try when it's finally released. I've been waiting for years for this game to release, so I can't wait. Actually, seriously, hurry up already. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl is a new first-person shooter survival hero action-adventure game being developed and published by GSC Game World, releasing for the Xbox Series S, the Xbox Series X, and the PC, releasing sometime in December 2023. Next up is a game I was surprised when I saw it. I saw his announcement video and I was like, ain't no way that game is coming out. And that game is no other than Mortal Kombat 1. I've been playing a ton of Mortal Kombat 11 with my friends, so to see that there's going to be a new Mortal Kombat game came as a big shock. And I was like, yeah, this is what we need in 2023. If you're familiar with the Mortal Kombat franchise, you will know it's pretty much been around before many of us, and has been popular since then and loved since then. And Mortal Kombat 1 is to be the second reboot and a sequel to Mortal Kombat 11 and the 12th main installment in the Mortal Kombat franchise. The game will be featuring a story mode, which, to be honest, most fighting games be having terrible story modes, but these Mortal Kombat games, well, they have quite actual decent story modes. I mean, the story modes ain't as deep like the previous Mortals, if you ask me, but that might be preference. Mortal Kombat 1 will also feature a online multiplayer mode, which is expected. And as far as characters goes, there's pretty much majority of the characters from MK11, also with 6 additional characters. Oh, and Homelander is gonna be in this. Yeah, Homelander is gonna be in this game. That's gonna be sick. Mortal Kombat 1 is a new fighting multiplayer game being developed by NetherRealm Studio and is to be published by Warner Bros. Releasing for the Nintendo Switch, the PS5, the PC, the Xbox Series X, and the Xbox Series X, releasing on September 19, 2023. Now for this game, I was literally sitting down and out of nowhere, I was like, wait, what happened to the Assassin's Creed series? It's been a while since I heard a game have they gone silent? And literally the next day, this game was announced, and I was like, well, they meant what they said when they're gonna take a few years off making annual Assassin's Creeds and instead spend some time making a good Assassin's Creed game, which I had no problem with. If anything, I was happy for them, but to be honest, I never really had a problem with previous Assassin's Creed games. They weren't perfect, but they were enjoyable, especially Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So Assassin's Creed Mirage has a lot to live up to, especially since Ubisoft basically took 3 years to construct this game. It better be a masterpiece. And if I'm being honest, it doesn't look bad, or it doesn't look like it's gonna be bad. They say it's going back to the roots, and I can definitely see that in the gameplay. And we'll also be playing with a character by the name of Basim, the game main character, and he also has a new companion, Enkidu, or Enkidu. I swear, the names I have to pronounce is crazy. The game will be taking place in the 9th century, where we'll be following Basim as he develops from a street thief to a member of the Assassin Brotherhood. Assassin's Creed Mirage is a new stealth action-adventure fighting platform game being developed and published by Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed Mirage will be releasing for the PS4, the PS5, the PC, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, and the Xbox Series S, releasing on October 12, 2023. The last game on this list is the Marvel Spider-Man 2, a game that was announced and revealed back in 2021, and the gameplay I'm seeing so far, well, I'm pretty impressed. These new Spider-Man games are amazing. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is no exception. Now, Marvel Spider-Man 2 will be coming in as a third in the Marvel Spider-Man game series. And just like his predecessor in 2020, we will have both Spider-Man in this game, being Peter Parker Spider-Man and also Miles Morales Spider-Man. But this game seems to be leaning into having both Spider-Man equally active in the game, unlike 2018 Spider-Man where it was just Peter Parker Spider-Man's, and 2022 Spider-Man where Miles Morales was pretty much there for the most part. So this game might just be leveling the playing field, giving each Spider-Man enough screen time, which seems like a good thing, seeing that there's like some super badass new villains that, well, might be too tough for one Spider-Man to handle. Plus Venom is in this game. I'm a crazy Venom fan, and I would like to see us incorporated in this game. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is an upcoming open world action adventure fighting platform game being developed by Insomniac Games and is published by the Sony Interactive Entertainment. Marvel Spider-Man 2 will be releasing exclusively for the PS5, releasing on October 20, 2023. Well, that's it for the video. Definitely go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, peace out and stay safe.